President Trump is back at the White House, at least for a few days, after a G20 summit with other world leaders in Germany. It was a rocky summit for the president, with reports and European officials saying in many ways the United States, for the first time in decades, is isolated on issues like climate change and trade. It really has become the G19, with the Trump administration prepared to go it alone on issue after issue. The president returns to Washington as the Senate Republican Conference is still trying to find 50 votes on a health care overhaul bill that would repeal and replace, at least partially, the 2010 health law known as Obamacare. The president has not been as involved so far in the Senate process as he was both times the House worked on its bill before finally passing one. Just how involved Trump will be this week is really an open question. He could leave as soon as Wednesday to participate in France's annual Bastille Day festivities. This year, the French will be celebrating the 100th anniversary of U.S. forces entering World War I. But with the president preparing for his French trip and then making the long flight if he leaves as soon as Wednesday, and the Senate really doesn't begin work in earnest until sometime late Tuesday morning, how involved will the president be in trying to twist the arms and change the legislation, especially because he would have to sign off on anything after a conference with the House, and the contents of the Senate bill will inform that conference. So it appears the president won't be that involved in whatever the Senate comes up with this week. And that's surprising given how involved and how invested he became in the House effort on health care. It was a big campaign promise, but the president is about to once again jump the pond as lawmakers work on one of his biggest promises. Since Trump got back on Saturday night, he has been tweeting fast and furious. Sunday was another remarkable day in Trump Twitter, as the president in the morning announced that he and Russian President Vladimir Putin had agreed to form a joint cybersecurity working group, which would work on things like election hacking. Of course, the U.S. intelligence community has unanimously agreed that Russia hacked into the U.S. election, including Hillary Clinton and Democratic emails trying to tip the election, if not for President Trump, at least away from candidate Clinton. By Sunday evening, Trump had backtracked and said, while he and Putin discussed it, it doesn't mean that it could actually happen. A remarkable reversal from a president in just about 13 hours. He was back at it Monday morning, and these tweets really are starting to get in the way of things like the push for health care. They really do overshadow, and he starts many days like this.